What happens when a big heavy go-kart meets an old tree? Things start to get torn off. So in the last video, everybody got to see the progress of the go-kart. We actually got to saw it run, drive, and we had some overheating issues. In this video, we're gonna actually show how I took a couple steps backwards. Also, shout out to Neil for these epic shoes. They're pretty sweet. I'm not even a Jimmy Buffett fan. And I'm not even a fan of like loud colors. But I'm digging it. I hit a tree, this tree, or this tree. I really can't remember which one it was because they were both so close together and they both had scuff marks. I had just built this section of the track to get a better turning radius. Before, it was really tight. So I opened up some of the woods and I left behind these really big trees because it's a process to take big trees out. So I'm a little bit limited out there. Well, my wife had brought up the fact that they were a little close, and you know, me being pretty positive, I didn't really think it was an issue. It was an issue. It was an issue. I hit a bump, and it took me a little bit too far left, right into the tree, and just tore the upper A-arm off of it. I also am here to tell you, this is what you've all wanted to hear. I'm okay, but dude, it was close. At least I made it out to make love to my wife one more time. Lucky her. Anyways, barely made it out alive, no big deal. Honestly, the only thing that happened to the go-kart was a broken spindle, a Heigelheim, brake line got ripped in half, maybe a ball joint got messed up, but I'm gonna still use that thing. The worst part was the upper spindle did get squashed. So I'm gonna have to make a whole new spindle. Now, I have everything ready to go. I have a new spindle, I have a new ball joint, you know, new brake line. I have everything. It did make me think, is now the time to fix some stuff? You know, kind of like some steering issues. I didn't really ever get Ackerman out of it, which isn't a necessity. It's great. But is this time to do that? Maybe. Maybe not, though. I'd really like to get this thing back on the road. And I'm just kind of ready to get it back on the road. Maybe I'll fix the next one. You know, maybe we'll dial the next one in. But you know, like trophy trucks and stuff, they'll have front steer setups and they have trouble getting Ackerman. So am I really sweating stuff that I can just not sweat? I don't know. What I'd love to fix about this is the Ackerman. So Ackerman is when, we're turning this way, this wheel needs to turn more than that wheel because this wheel is going to take a tighter arc than that side. So when I built this is known as a front steer car. That's because the tie rod and the rod, everything that steers this is in the front of the A-arms. So when you go to set your Ackerman up, you've got your back axle. Basically, this and this need to intersect each other and land in the middle of your axle. Imagine an imaginary line off of both sides, and that line goes from the middle of your axle right here outward, and it should pass through this and this. And that should give you proper Ackerman. What happens on a front steer is this will damn near be in the middle of your disc just to get that right. So it's either lengthening or shortening this to get the right geometry, or you change the position of this pivot right here. That's a little bit too much than I'm willing to get into, so I'm not gonna do that right now. So what we are going to do is replace the spindle. There's a couple things I've got to do. I've got to drill the spindle. For this, I'm not explaining it. Got to do that. Got to rebuild these A-arms. I've got to lengthen this rod on both sides, because what's also going on is I've got some pretty extreme camber, and my toe is limited. It's like way in. So if I can lengthen these rods right here, I can get that toe back to a neutral position, maybe a little toe in, but right now we're real toed in. So camber is also good and bad. I got some excessive camber, but I've got a lot of adjustment that I just haven't done. So we're gonna, and also I'm pretty impressed. I don't know if you guys can see this. I think you can. This is a steel braided line from All-Star, ripped in half. I don't even know how, because all this was still attached, but this wheel was just up here and back, and I don't know what ripped this in half. So shock is still good. It did get a little contact from the rubber tire, but shock's fine. We just have some easy stuff to repair. Now we're gonna repair it. Meant to say, I've already said it, Ackerman is nice. It's really nice. It's built into most things, but then there's some things that just is really hard to get Ackerman. It's gonna make your life a little harder when it comes to turning, but it's not going to kill your project. It's not gonna kill that trophy truck. You know, it's not gonna kill that off-road rig. You're still gonna be able to drive, but you're gonna have to stack all the pennies up to get as much Ackerman as you can possibly get. And so I want to just say that I need Ackerman. If I can't get Ackerman, it's not the end of the world. And also, I might end the video here because I'm not really good at showing working on stuff. So the next time you might see this thing fixed and ready, and I screwed up on the last video and I didn't even really play an exhaust note. That's probably the whole goal. There's requirements. There's noise, you need to be able to hear it, and you need to be able to see it. You guys saw it, you didn't hear it, that's on me. So now I'm gonna do a whole video with flybys and takeoffs and cruising and in cockpit like sounds just to make up for my failed video, to make it up for you. Now, before we jump off here, I just picked up all this. This is a 86 200cc Honda with matching frame on the other side, and I've also got this 300EX frame, and basically I'm just going to be robbing parts off of these things. Another bottom end, and we'll get into that to see what it's like. But this thing is good, decent simple A-arms and suspension and front disc brakes that I can rob. And actually this thing has disc brakes too, and it's apparently got a running motor. So this will be where we start, and what is going to happen. This thing, I found it in the meth village, the tent city over here where I'm at. Well, I had to go in and get it. So I didn't risk my life, but I like to tell people I did. We have this thing that I'm working on as well. And it used to be, now shut your pie holes. I don't give two craps, but shut your pie holes. This is a International Harvester Cadet 60. It's just a little lawnmower. It's cool, but it's worn out. It's technology has surpassed this thing quickly. So what we're gonna do is make something fun out of it. I've got a go-kart axle on the back with larger tires, and I got just a little 212, little Harbor Freight motor. We got everything ready to kind of go on this thing, but how cool is it? I'm gonna do a little thumb throttle and just have fun with this. So be on the lookout for the next video on this guy. Gonna start tearing these guys apart and gonna get this guy going. And I might make some content with this big dude. I want to get some dirt bike tires for this thing. So what I might do is I might buy a backup set of rims and start doing some more on that. Got this thing running. I got another four-wheeler out in the Connex. So I've got a little 70cc two-stroke out there. I want to get it out and clean the carb and get it running again. But that thing's sweet. You could put anybody on that thing, have a little cone, a cone driving a little tiny simple track and just see who gets the best times. But that's something I want to do. So we got content coming, and I did crash this thing, but we're working on it.